He's gonna bring his best game. I'll bring my best game, and we'll see what happens.
How do you feel it's gonna be like without a crowd?
It's gonna suck ass. Even when I knock him out or hurt him, it's not gonna be as fun. But that's why I said I'm just gonna get this victory, dominate him, and then we're gonna have a huge fight with Gervonta, and that's gonna be what I'm really searching for. I only fight for other people. I don't care about myself. My ego's out of this game. I'm all about winning and entertaining everybody, so it sucks. But we'll figure it out. You feel like you're a top dog, you're the king. And I think that's what everybody's shooting for, to be that king over everybody, king over the opponents, king over the division, king over, you want to be the king, just like LeBron James. He's King James, he's king of the court. I want to be king of the ring. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for having me.
Once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, we alternate the training.
I don't just rely on my power. You know, my last 2 fights, because people, you know, used to me knocking people out, they don't want to give you the credit. You deserve for going 10 and going 12 and making it look easy. But my heart rate didn't even go in the yellow zone. I don't need to bang you out to win. You know, I'll give you a good hiding for 10. I'll give you a good hiding for 12. You know, not that I plan on this going past 4 rounds.
Aspiring to win is probably one of my favourite things to do outside of fighting.
So we go through different phases in camp, and Conor likes to be neuromuscularly ready for the session. I want him to be ready for the session as well. So we do some priming exercises. They could be power exercises, but they can also be isometric exercises. So overcoming isometrics are where you're applying maximal force against an immovable object. And Conor likes that because it lights his CNS up before he does his heavy lifting. So instead of just going in cold, he prioritises that. And we like doing that in the middle of the week as well, because it doesn't mean too much fatigue as well at a muscular level. So we'll be doing lots of that later today.
Ryan Garcia says Conor Benn has been talking about this fight for a long time. He remembers Ben approaching him at an awards show in London, and that moment stayed in his mind. Now, with Ben ranked among the top fighters and Garcia holding the WBC world title, Ryan believes the timing is finally right. He says there's no point in waiting anymore. Garcia is ready to accept the challenge and settle everything inside the ring. After years of talk and anticipation, Ryan's message is simple: the waiting is over. Now, it's time to fight.
He's been talking for some time. It hasn't even just been recently. You know, it's been maybe a year, 2 years. He actually pulled up on me in London and, you know, tried to fight me, start some trouble at a reward show. So ever since then, he's been on my radar. But since he's #1 and I'm world champion, I said, let's do it. You know, there's no more waiting. Let's just get it on.
That's right.
Conor Benn has one clear goal: become one of the biggest names in boxing by taking on the biggest fights available. He says he has worked extremely hard to earn his position as the WBC mandatory challenger, and now he wants to take full advantage of that opportunity. When it comes to Ryan Garcia, Ben says he's open to whatever happens because there are plenty of fighters calling him out. For Ben, it's all about facing the toughest competition, creating massive moments, and giving fans fights they will always remember. His message is simple: if you want to challenge Conor Benn, step up. He's ready to fight anyone.
And the potential for a fight against him is what everybody's been making noise about as well. Where is your head in regards to that? What fight do you want? What have you told Dana White?
Listen,
What's the fight that you want?
We're going to try and make the WBC world title. You know, I'm mandatory for that shot. I've worked hard to get to that shot. But ultimately, I'm not sure of options. You know, there's plenty of fighters calling me out. So we'll see what's there. Whatever fight the public want, they can get. I'm here because I want to make the biggest fights possible. I want to make the most memorable nights in boxing. You know, the ones where people go, "Cool, what a fight, what a night." Something to remember, history made, legacy made. That's why I'm here. So Whoever wants it can get it.
Ryan Garcia says he has always dreamed of becoming the face of boxing. He already had the fame, the huge following, and the attention of millions of fans, but he felt one thing was missing: a world title. Now that he has the belt, Garcia believes he has the chance to lead this new generation of fighters, not just with his popularity, but with his performances in the ring. Still, Ryan knows fame alone isn't enough. He wants to prove himself through hard work, dedication, and big fights. Now, his goal is simple: show everyone that he truly belongs at the top.
You don't hesitate to back it up when you have the opportunity to do so. I want to know, however, where your headspace is at from the standpoint, once upon a time, you were thinking about being the face of boxing. Do you still think about that right now? Or is it just one of those situations where, having only 3 fights in the last 3 years, you're just simply taking one fight at a time?
Well, you know, as I'm a world champion now, and now that I feel like I have the belt, and, you know, I've always had the following, I've always had, you know, all the opportunities you can have as a superstar. You know, now that I have this piece that I kind of was missing, of course, I would love to keep fighting and kind of carry boxing. I actually lead this generation of young fighters of popularity and now of being a world champion. So I have all the opportunities to become the face of boxing, but now I just have to prove it with my dedication and all my fights that are going to be lined up. I have to do it now.
You've been through a lot.
Conor Benn says his biggest priority is giving fans real value for their money by delivering exciting fights they actually want to watch. He feels boxing has changed, with too many fighters becoming obsessed with protecting their undefeated records. According to Benn, that mindset can make fighters afraid to take risks and too careful inside the ring. But he sees things differently. Benn says he would rather lose in an exciting fight than win a boring one. For him, boxing is about giving everything he has, fighting with passion, and making sure every performance gives fans a night they will never forget.
Give people value for money. I want to give people the fights that they want. You ain't always going to have an unbelievable night in the office. Sometimes the styles don't suit, they don't match up. But ultimately, I feel like it changed with Mayweather when he come along and it was the undefeated record and everyone was scared of losing. Ultimately, I'd rather lose an exciting fight than win a boring fight, because then it's like, did you even win?
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I just want to give people value for money. I want people to want to tune into a Conor Benn fight, win, lose or draw. You know, I fight with my heart on my sleeve and they're getting everything I've got. I pour my soul into my fights and I give them every shot I have.
I'll close with this.
Ryan Garcia is putting in serious work as he prepares for his next big challenge. He's training hard with his team, staying focused, disciplined, and committed every day in the gym. His team says they've been working nonstop, pushing Ryan to improve and making sure he's ready for anything that comes his way. The energy inside the camp is strong, and the training has been intense. Everyone believes the hard work will show when Ryan steps into the ring. With dedication, consistency, and his team behind him, Garcia is determined to deliver a performance that proves he's ready for the biggest moments.
What's good, champ? What's good? You wearing the same tank top, see? We the same.
You know what he told me? He said 5 rounds.
Relax.
Go on. I need faster hands, bro. I need faster hands. You know that.
It was there. They got it. It don't work.
Proceed, bro. Earlier, you know,
No.
when we saw we train, I fuck motherfuckers up every day in the gym.
Back. Big time.
I box every day. All the every day, 14 days on and 1 day off. If it's gonna be great, you have to put the work in. Let me
No cutting corners.
Conor Benn says his mindset in training is simple: give everything he has. Throughout his career, he believes he has put 110% into every training camp. For Benn, real success means looking in the mirror after a fight and knowing he did everything possible to prepare. He can accept a loss or a setback, but what he cannot accept is knowing he didn't give his best. Benn believes the biggest regret comes from looking back and realizing you could have worked harder. That's why, for him, preparation is everything. Leave no excuses, give your all, and let the results speak for themselves.
Nicely on it. It's hard, it's brutal. This is my last fight at 147.
Your last fight, what?
This is my last fight at 147. When I win the world title, I'll move on. But for me, yeah, I haven't made 147 for 4 years, so it's challenging. Don't get me wrong, it's really hard. You think I went up to 183 pounds for the Eubank fights, you know, so it's hard, but, you know, we're getting it done.
Yeah. So after this fight, we'll be going up to 154 pounds then?
154, 160, 168.
Okay. Yeah. interesting stuff. But yeah,
Oscar says everyone is fully committed to making this event a huge success. His main focus is making sure Ryan Garcia gets the respect and support he deserves while being completely prepared for Conor Benn. He says the team is working closely together and leaving nothing to chance during Ryan's training camp. The goal is to have Ryan enter the ring confident, sharp, and ready to perform at his very best. Oscar believes they are preparing Ryan to rise to the occasion, take the throne, and show the world exactly what he is capable of when the biggest moment arrives.
We had a talk the other day. It's great. It's good. We had a discussion the other day, and I know he said a couple of things on your show and this and that, but we talked to each other. Everything's great. We're gonna make sure that this event is big. We're gonna make sure that Ryan gets what he deserves, that he's treated the way he deserves, and just make sure that he's ready and prepared to go up and take the throne from Conor Benn. I mean, he has no throne, but I'm saying, make sure that he goes out there 100% and beats Conor Benn.
So that's interesting.
Fernando Vargas believes Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn could be much closer than many people expect. He gives Ryan credit for his strong amateur background and the experience he gained early in his career. But Vargas says Benn brings a different level of toughness, especially because Conor has shown that he refuses to quit when things get difficult. At the same time, Vargas points out that Garcia has faced questions about how he handles adversity. For him, that mental strength could play a major role in this fight. If both fighters are pushed to their limits, Vargas believes their toughness could make this a very competitive matchup.
Really?
Yeah.
Ryan's got a much deeper amateur background. He got the left hook and all that, but
Has Conor Benn quit?
no, he is not.
That's all you gotta say. When you think about that, all you gotta think is that. Has Conor Benn quit?
No.
Okay.
But he didn't fight
wait.
guys.
Let me ask you a question. Has Ryan Garcia quit?
Hearn respects Conor Benn's abilities, but he has serious doubts about how Benn will perform against Ryan Garcia at 147 pounds. He points to Benn's previous experience at a higher weight against Chris Eubank Jr., where the adjustment appeared to affect him. Hearn believes moving back down could create another challenge, especially if Benn struggles to maintain his strength and power. Because of that, he sees the weight cut as a major factor in this fight. Hearn feels that if Benn can't carry his usual power down to 147, it could put him at a real disadvantage against Ryan Garcia.
It was one of the problems in going to 160 to fight Eubank. To come back to 140, it's a really tough thing to do. And I think when he fought Prograis, was it 151 or 150? Like, he just didn't look the same. He looked like he was lacking power, didn't look that strong.
Tim Bradley and Max Kellerman believe Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn is unlikely to go the full distance. Bradley points to Benn's relentless pressure as one of the biggest factors, while Garcia's explosive offense could create serious danger of its own. However, Bradley also believes Ryan's aggressive style can leave openings for Benn to attack. With both fighters bringing power, speed, and dangerous strengths, there are plenty of ways this fight could change in an instant. That's why Bradley and Kellerman expect a decisive ending rather than a long, drawn-out battle. For them, this matchup has all the ingredients for an explosive finish.
Watching them interact, I like Conor Benn's chances better than before they interacted. Ryan said this is not going the distance. Do you believe him?
I believe it's not going the distance. I think somebody's going to get knocked out. I think both their styles, when you match them up, like I told you early on, you got Benn, who can punch, right? And anybody that can punch always tends to put Ryan on the defense, right? We haven't seen that scary shell. Remember, Barrios couldn't punch like that, when he turns his back like this and going that scary shell.
Luke Campbell dropped him too.
Luke Campbell dropped him. But I feel like
Luke Campbell, Olympic gold medalist, by the way. Yes.
I feel like Benn has a chance because he has a right hand, good right hand, a strong right hand. I think the pressure that he puts on
the pressure on.
He has an engine. Yeah, he keeps going, and you see the will that he has.
Connor's mental is strong. Yeah,
he's mentally strong. However, look, if he gets past that left hook, he got to get past that left hook, man. And one more thing.
Conor Benn is a true 50-50 fight, with both fighters having a real chance to win. He says Garcia has looked outstanding at times, especially in his performance against Mario Barrios, but Ryan has also shown some inconsistency, making it hard to predict which version will show up on fight night. Sanchez also has questions about Benn moving back down in weight and whether the cut could affect his strength and performance. Overall, he expects a competitive battle where both fighters will have their moments. And if someone pulls away late, Sanchez believes a late knockout could decide the fight.
Two guys that have been talking a lot, I guess.
Ryan has just had a great fight with Barrios. He looked very good, but then he didn't look so good against Rolly. So it depends on which Garcia shows up. I think Ben coming down, hopefully he's doing it correctly. It doesn't weaken him. I look for a late knockout actually in this fight. Either way, I'm not picking one guy or the other because if the right Conor Benn shows up weight-wise, then he could be too strong for Garcia. But if Garcia cracks him, he can hit. So it's a 50-50.
Liam Goff believes Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn has all the ingredients for an exciting fight, even before the opening bell. With both fighters bringing big personalities, confidence, and plenty of tension, he expects the build-up to create a lot of attention. But when it comes to the actual matchup, Goff is leaning toward Ryan Garcia. He respects the danger Benn brings, but believes Ryan has the skills and ability to take control when it matters most. In the end, Goff expects Garcia to handle the challenge and come out on top when these two finally step into the ring.
That is that. Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, T-Mobile Arena, September 12th, live on DAZN and on Paramount in the US. I'd say DAZN, it'll do decent numbers in the UK. This fight, Conor Benn being involved, the UK audience will buy it. But if DAZN got that fully, as in pay-per-view in the US and the UK, oh boy, they'd be laughing all the way to the bank. But they've got something out of it, if nothing else. Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn, I'm all for it. I think Ryan Garcia is going to win, but I'm all for the build-up. The build-up is going to be...
Chris Eubank Jr. has given his prediction for Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn, and he doesn't expect it to be a close fight. Eubank believes Garcia has too many advantages and will simply be too much for Benn to handle. He points to Ryan's speed, power, and overall ability as major factors that could make the difference early. Eubank is extremely confident in Garcia and believes Ryan can take control from the opening bell. His prediction is bold. Garcia will stop Benn within the first 4 rounds and score a decisive victory.
A final one from myself, and I'd assume a lot of people would have asked you about it today, but obviously Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn got announced. I know you'd have been asked about that fight before, but now it's announced. How do you think that plays out on September 12th?
I think it's come about because of the political sphere of how boxing is at the moment. But in terms of fighting in the ring, it's a mismatch. I expect Garcia to win within 4 rounds.
Bernie believes a potential Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn fight for the WBC title is being driven more by money and politics than pure competitive merit. He questions how Benn reached the #1 position and feels outside factors played a major role. Bernie also doubts whether Benn's recent victory truly earned him a championship opportunity. However, he acknowledges that boxing is a business, and when a fighter can generate big numbers or has the right connections, opportunities can come quickly. Despite his concerns about how the matchup came together, Bernie says he would favor Ryan Garcia if the two eventually meet for the WBC title.
I mean, they pushed him up to #1, so it's politics and money, press him to #1. I don't think this win warranted a shot at the championship, but, Ryan Garcia is coming off a loss and got a shot at the championship. So boxing is a shaky game, I guess if you can quote unquote do numbers or have the right political connections, anything has happened. But
fans are eagerly waiting for the weigh-in to see how Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn look on the scales. The moment could reveal a lot, especially if either fighter has struggled to make the 147-pound limit. Everyone will be watching closely to see who looks strong, healthy, and ready for the challenge. One host is particularly confident in Ryan Garcia, pointing to his incredible speed and dangerous left hook as major weapons. If Ryan can use his speed to create openings and land that left hook at the right moment, it could cause serious problems for Conor Benn once the fight begins.
Well, it remains to be seen. He's now older, and these fights that he just had, with Eubank and Prograis, they weren't fights that were like simple fights. There were fights, there were wars, mini wars. So I'm anxious to see what he's going to look like the day of the weigh-in. As Brian knows, you can always tell when someone struggled in the weigh-in, and you can tell when someone's completely drained. And we'll see. I just know that Ryan Garcia at 140, at 147, that left hook is unbelievable. And again, I don't see.
Paulie Malignaggi predicts Ryan Garcia will beat Conor Benn by knockout, and he doesn't expect the fight to last more than 6 rounds. He believes there is a clear difference between the two fighters when it comes to skill and power. Malignaggi is also critical of Benn, suggesting that Conor may not be at the level needed to compete with Garcia. In his view, this is a perfect opportunity for Ryan to show exactly what he can do. Malignaggi believes Garcia could deliver a massive, destructive victory and make a serious statement to the rest of the boxing world.
Garcia Ben. I mean, a lot of people saying that Garcia is too skilled.
Ryan knocks him out. The fight doesn't go 6 rounds, in my opinion. Ryan knocks him out.
Why is that? Is that the disparity in skill, or?
Yeah, I mean, disparity in skill, disparity in power. I don't think Conor Benn's that good, bro. I think it's obvious he's not that good, but, Ryan Garcia is a very good fighter. When he's motivated and he's pushing himself, and I think, as a champion, Ryan will understand the responsibility on his shoulders as well to elevate his game. He's already at a very good level. He's already a very good fighter. But this fight is an opportunity for him to make a statement because he's fighting a guy who's got a big name, but also a guy who probably doesn't belong in the ring with him. And so I think he's got a chance to do something of a statement in this fight by getting, a massive destructive type of victory. And I think that's probably what happens in the fight.
Gareth A. Davies has concerns about whether Conor Benn can comfortably make the 147-pound limit. He believes that if Benn struggles with the weight cut, it could affect his performance against Ryan Garcia. Davies also points to Garcia's power at this weight, especially his dangerous left hook, as a major threat. Because of those factors, Benn has already put himself in a strong position to build a very successful and financially rewarding career in boxing.
He is a box office star through thin and thick, thinner, thick and thicker, controversy and the like. He's got star character and star qualities. If he's going to make 147, if he's good at the weight, it'll be a good fight. If he has really struggled at the weight, he's going to struggle against Garcia, who is a massive puncher at welterweight with both left and right hooks, notably that left hook. It's a dangerous fight for him. I think it'll deliver all the way to the fight, but I think he'll get knocked out by Ryan Garcia, unless he knocks Garcia out himself. I want to see Devin Haney in with Ryan Garcia as well in the rematch. That's a massive fight. But Conor Benn, I've said this before and I will say it again, could end up with 50, 60, 70 million in the bank and never win a world title. And that's an extraordinary thing to say, but it will make him a very successful boxer in this period.
If you're